Good morning. The City of Boston Zoning Board of Appeal hearing for September 9, 2025 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law, including the updated provisions enacted by the legislature this year. The new law allows the board to continue its practice of holding virtual hearings through June 2027. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the Zoom webinar event platform and is also being live streamed. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting to this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. Board members, applicants, and their attorneys or representatives will participate in the hearing as panelists, and they will appear alongside the presentation materials when speaking. Panelists are strongly encouraged to keep video on while presenting to the board. In order to ensure this hearing, can you go to the next slide? If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise hand button along the bottom of your screen in the Zoom webinar platform. Click it again and your hand should go down. When the host sees your hand, you'll receive a request to unmute yourself. Select yes and you should be able to talk. If you are connected to the hearing by telephone, please press star 9 to raise and lower your hand. You must press star 6 to unmute yourself after you receive the request from the host. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first and then can provide their comment. In the interest of time and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Stembridge reads the address into the record. Do not raise your hand before the relevant address is called or the meeting host will not know to call on you at the appropriate time. Mr. Stembridge?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Ms. Wewell?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Mr. Langham?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Ms. Betta-Baraza?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. So just a note that we are a 5-member board today. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Stembridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll begin with the approval of hearing minutes. These minutes are from August 26, 2025. I'll make a motion that we approve them.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Betta-Baraza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next, we'll move on to the extension scheduled for 9:30 a.m. The extensions all seem reasonable. So I'll read them all in and we'll go from there. First, we have case BOA 609-358 with the address of 6 to 8 Parsons Street. Next, we have case BOA 609-355 with the address of 10 Parsons Street. Next, we have case BOA 131-9563 with the address of 123 Elmwood Street. Next, we have case BOA 147-1767 with the address of 556 East Broadway. Then we have case BOA 129-5426 with the address of 270 West 2nd Street. And finally, for the extensions, we have case BOA 121-1031 with the address of 134 Terrace Street. Those are the extensions for today, and I will make a motion of approval.
May I have a second? Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Betta-Baraza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next, we'll move on to the hearing scheduled for 9:30 a.m. As Madam Chair mentioned, we're a 5-member board today. And next we will ask if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 9:30 a.m. hearing.
Hi, Mr. Stenbridge, 372 K Street, please.
So that would be for case BOA 1732693 with the address of 372 K Street. Would you go ahead and explain, Attorney Smith?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Ryan Spitz with Adams and Moranci, business address of 168 H Street, first floor, South Boston. We're here seeking a administrative deferral on this matter. We were hoping to get an expedited date to be heard in front of a 7-member board, please.
We
Caroline?
could do October 7th or October 28th.
October 7th will be perfect.
With that, may I have a motion?
A motion to grant the extension till October the 7th.
Deferral, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. See you then.
Thank you.
Are there any further requests for, any further requests for withdrawals or deferrals for the 9:30 hearing?
Yes, good morning. I have a request for withdrawal on 2 cases.
Okay, can you give the address first?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Luis Santana, HS Construction Consulting Services. Address is 46 and 48 Fayette Street.
So those two are, okay, the first is case BOA 1737368 with the address of 46 Fayette Street. Also, we have case BOA 1737366 with the address of 48 Fayette Street. Would you please explain to the board what you're requesting?
Yes, as indicated in the letter that we submitted to the board, the owner, after extensive community outreach, we decided not to continue with the cases and with the addition, and we will only be performing interior renovations to the building in the near future.
Okay, and do you still need to present to us on the GCOD matter?
If the board allows for that, to grant relief on the G code, which will be administratively pursued later anyway due to the renovations, that will be acceptable to us and to the owner.
Caroline, can you confirm that we can do that?
Yeah, we can move forward on the hearing just for GCOD.
Okay. So with that, can I have a motion? So we're withdrawing everything but GCOD. Is there a motion?
So motion to allow withdrawal of everything except for the GCOD.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
So with that, if there are no further requests for withdrawals or deferrals, the first case is case BOA 1745517 with the address of 234 Princeton Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair, again, members of the board, Luis Santana. I'm here on behalf of Phil Tamato, which is the owner of this property, and who has been the owner for over 30 years. This is an existing 3-family, and we are proposing, this 3-family consists of 2 1-bedroom units and 1 2-bedroom unit. Our proposal is to add the rear addition at the second and third level in the rear of the building. And also extend the living space into the basement by adding 2 additional bedrooms to the first floor unit. The goal is to maintain the parking at the first floor level in the rear underneath that addition. We have one zoning violation, which is the maximum lot coverage set at 60% in that particular area. And we will be exceeding that by about 20% or 256 square feet. All the other zoning parameters are in compliance, including all the setbacks. And one of the parameters, which is the minimum permeable area, is existing non-conforming, and we will be increasing that by removing the existing concrete rear yard. Those were the existing plans. If you move forward, those are the existing elevations. This addition in the rear is not visible from the public way whatsoever. As you can see, the first floor from that elevation is not affected. We are just doing the second and third. If you can please move over to the floor plans, proposed conditions. Please. So again, the first floor unit consists of one single bedroom. We will be adding a bedroom at the rear with a bathroom. And the third floor has 2 bedrooms presently. It will become a 3-bedroom unit. The first floor unit, which has 1 bedroom, will become a 3-bedroom unit by adding 2 additional bedrooms in the basement. We will be relocating some utilities, and we will comply with all the means of egress required for the bedrooms on the lower level. With that, I conclude my presentation. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Eva Jones, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 234 Princeton Street, our office defers to the board's judgment on this matter. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on May 12th of this year that was very lightly attended by community members, and no feedback or concerns were expressed. The applicant was connected with the Eagle Hill Neighborhood Association, and they are in communication. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you for your time and consideration, everyone.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Motion
Chair.
to approve.
Is there a second?
Braza, second.
Sorry.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Baraza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA, 2 companion cases. Case BOA 173-7368 with the address of 46 Fayette Street. Along with that, we have case BOA 173-7366. And again, these cases are, we're going to, for only for the G-card portion.
Only G-cod, and any testimony should be limited to G-cod related comments. Thank you.
The applicant and or their representative present, will they please explain to the board?
Yes, good morning. This is the case that I previously indicated that we will be withdrawing, and the board just had a motion to approve the G code only and extract all the other variances from this request. I will be happy to elaborate on both of them. We do have the no harm letter and Boston Water and Sewer approval for the G code component of this case.
So Mr. Simonelli on, can you confirm?
Yes, Madam Chair. Good morning, members of the board. Christian Simonelli, Boston Groundwater Trust. We have both Boston Water and Sewer approval letters and no harm letters for 46 and 48 Fayette Street.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So if there is any public testimony, please limit it to GCOD. We are only addressing GCOD at this time. Is there anyone who'd like to speak?
Madam Chair, we have two hands raised.
Yep.
The first one is Chris Godou, please. You can proceed. Chris, can you?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I am the abutter at 50 Fayette Street, and my question about this GCOD is that we have a problem with the groundwater infiltration system that was designed, and I had hired an attorney and an arborist to do a discussion about whether or not that was a problem. When they withdrew this appeal, there was no indication this would be an issue that was going to be raised. So I would ask for a continuance so that if there's something that my attorney thinks is improper and is going to harm the tree in our backyard, I'd like to have further discussion about that.
Thank you. Sydney?
Morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Sydney from Councillor Flynn's office. Councillor Flynn sent a letter to the board this morning through email, and he wants to go in record of opposition at this time. Thank you.
Well, opposition not to the GCOD, though. Thank you. I don't know if Mr. Simonelli, you want to just comment quickly on that first comment?
Yes, Madam Chair. So these systems are obviously approved by the Boston Water and Sewer Commission. There's a submission to the commission by the applicant. There's then a comment period. The commission reviews the location of the system to ensure that it's properly located, a certain amount of feet away from a building. Obviously, the intention of the system is to not cause any harm to existing or abutting properties. In addition, the no harm letter stipulates there's not going to be any harm to groundwater levels on site or adjacent lots. The no harm letter addresses not the recharge system, but that the work being accomplished is not going to have a negative impact on the groundwater table. I can just say that in our experiences with systems that have been installed, I haven't heard anecdotally of any issues that the trees have been affected or have died or anything like that as far as any negative impact. But again, I can just go on the letters that I have. And again, the no harm letter coupled with the water and sewer approval is what we have to go on at this point. And I feel comfortable having those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Santana, really quickly.
Yes, I just want to emphasize, Madam Chair, that if we don't go through this approval today, this will be, it is required to have the infiltration system, and it will be triggered because of the interior renovations, which means that if we are not approved today, we will have to go through the administrative hearing for the G-code at a later date, and there is no community participation on that administrative hearing, exclusively for the G-code. The other thing is that this is a very shallow system, and we will take, the owner has promised to take care or even make adjustments to the location of that infiltration system, need be, if any of the adjacent trees or the root system of those trees will be affected in any way. So we will be happy to work with the abutter in order to make those adjustments if they are necessary. But as Mr. Simonelli indicated, these systems are required in order to protect the adjacent structures.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval for GCOD only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stem?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Raza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Fuck.
The next case has been deferred. So that will take us to case BOA 1703901 with the address of 1891 Columbus Avenue. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Hi, my name is Regina Watson. I'm not sure of the protocol, so good morning, Madam Chair and all the other dignitaries I had literally abut 1891 Columbus Ave. There,
Ma'am, we're not on that case right now.
oh, okay. That's why I was confused. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. We're not on the comments right now. So is the applicant available? Is the applicant present?
I don't see any.
IAO Auto Repair.
No, I don't see anyone on behalf.
Okay, we're gonna keep going then. Norm, you're on mute.
Bear with us, we're having some technical difficulties on this end.
No.
Okay. Next we have case BOA 1735306 with the address of 147 Harvard Street. If the applicant or their representative for this case is present, they please explain to the board.
Hi, Michael and Jerome. I don't know if you're for this
Good
case.
morning. Sorry about that.
Are you for 147 Harvard Street?
Yes, my name is Michael Van Dam. I am an attorney for the applicant, and I'm here, but I'll kind of pass the torch to Jennifer Howe, who's the architect as well on this application. But I will start out before I hand it over to her. This is an application needs to go to the ZBA based on some Article 60, Section 9 issues with the lot area and other things, front and some setback and height that are stated in your in the letter on May 8th. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Howe.
Hello, Madam Chair and the board. My name is Jennifer Ha, the principal architect at Hugh Architecture, located at 53H Harvard Street in Dorchester. I'm actually just down the street from this project that I'll be presenting tonight, which is 147 Harvard Street. If you go to the first page, this is a locus map of the site showing that the project is a 5-minute walk from Fairmont Commuter Rail, Talbot Ave Station. And then the next page can see here. So basically we have a aerial sketch as well showing the building massing. That's on the second page, but it shows that the massing fits in scale compared to the neighboring buildings. There you go. Thank you. The site is 3,565 square feet, measuring around 47 feet by 75 feet. It is a 3F 5,000 zone. It is abutting a church to the east, a vacant city lot to the west, and a 3-family to its rear. Across the street are some triple deckers and commercial mixed-use buildings. And the next page, thank you. The proposal is to build a new 4-unit dwelling with 4 on-grade parking spaces. The building is of 4 stories with large windows and balconies facing Harvard Street. Here is the proposed driveway, coming in with 2 parking spaces along the side of the building and 2 in the rear. And then the next page is a certified plot plan done by the surveyor. We don't anticipate needing to remove any existing trees on the lot for the project. On the next page, the variances that we are asking, I think that Michael has, I can walk through these, but let's go to the design. Page 9, okay, yes. The plans, the first floor and the second floor units are identical. Each unit will host 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and an open kitchen, dining, living space. The third floor and fourth floor will host bi-level units. 1 unit will be 2-bedroom and 1 bathroom, and the other unit will be 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. There is no proposed basement for the project. The 3-bedroom units range from 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. The 2-bedroom unit size is 914 square feet. The next page, please. Thank you. The facade is a modern design with a combination of dark gray and wood tones. We are specifying wood painted polyash siding along with gray hardy lap siding with painted steel balcony railings. And we are proposing, we can go to the next slide, thank you. We are proposing landscaping and plantings in the front and side of the building to buffer the parking. We designed private front balconies for the 3 of the 4 units facing Harvard Street. And we think the beautiful large windows facing Harvard Street offers an attractive and desirable neighborhood appeal towards the commercial street. And that is the end of the presentation.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Dorchester Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on July 8th, where one abutter voiced concerns regarding the proposed height of the project, while others' inquiries were addressed. Following the abutters meeting, no further community process was required, and to date, our office has not received any letters of opposition or support. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll put forward a motion of approval with BPDA design review to look at the site planning.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam
Next.
Chair. Thank you. Members of the board.
Next, we have case BOA 170-1232 with the address of 411 to 413 Washington Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Mr. Stenbridge, thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Timothy Fraser from the law firm of Dane Torpy, 175 Federal Street in Boston. Along with me is Dr. Jacqueline Rivers, who represents the property owner, Azusa Christian Community, as well as Shannon Burrington of Studio Troika, the project architect. This appeal involves property at 411 to 413 Washington Street in Dorchester. It's in the Four Corners neighborhood. The church has owned this building since 1992, which not only operates as a place of worship, but also is the site out of which operates the Ella J. Baker House. That's a faith-based organization that works with at-risk youth in the community on violence reduction and academic programming. In 2007, a fire did extensive damage to the building. However, the church continued to provide that youth programming on a reduced basis as the conditions allowed in the remaining portion of the building. But now the church is seeking to completely renovate the building into a place of worship and add certain state-of-the-art elements where they'll continue to operate the mission of the Ella J. Baker House. In addition to the services provided to date, the new building includes a high-tech music studio and a cutting-edge computer center and other modern improvements to attract the youth and to continue the work of this organization for the community. The project does give rise to 4 variances. The first is height. We're in a 2F 5,000 zoning district where the maximum height is 2.5 stories. The existing building is 3 stories, and the project doesn't propose to add any additional stories, but we do require a variance for that historical code violation. There's also a side yard setback violation. The side yard setback is 10 feet. The existing building is already right on the property line, not uncharacteristic for this neighborhood. So our project does require a variance for that historical code violation. With regard to the rear yard setback violation, we're proposing to add, and you can see it right there actually in that picture on the right, a small addition to accommodate an elevator shaft to make the building ADA compliant. Currently it's not. And then looking at the shape of the lot, and I think there's a plot plan signed somewhere in here, you'll see that slide actually works right there. You'll see that the shape of the lot, the rear yard violation would be measured actually from that closest piece to the rear of the building. We have almost 80 feet to the actual rear yard line, but because of the shape of this lot, the rear yard is calculated, and we're at 21 feet. We require 30. And then the next violation, actually, you can stay right on that slide. You'll see that there are two parking spaces to the rear of the building. They're two ADA compliant parking spaces, and then there'll be an additional space for a staff member or Sunday the pastor. That rear lot is actually accessed by way of an easement right on the next door. So that's what triggers that violation. That easement is deeded. It is perpetual, but we do need a variance to approve the continued use of that easement to access those two parking spaces in the rear. And then finally, there's an FAR violation again, which is not uncharacteristic for a project of this type in this neighborhood. The applicant conducted a robust community process in conjunction with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services to communicate the project to the community and other stakeholders. Specifically, in April 2025, we presented the project to the Greater Chamberlain Neighborhood Association, and I believe there's a support letter on file from Greater Chamberlain. And then in May, we held an abutters meeting as well as met with the United Neighborhood Association, and I believe there's a letter of support on file from United Neighborhood Association as well. And the Office of Neighborhood Services then determined that those meetings sufficed as the required community engagement. So we're here today before the board to request that the aforementioned variances be granted. So that concludes my presentation, but I do want to make Shannon Burrington of Studio Troika available to answer any questions about the project design and technical specifications. And as I stated, Dr. Rivers is also on the line to answer any questions about the programming or services provided. So with that, I will take questions from the board.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Dorchester Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on May 13th with two abutters in attendance. A few inquiries were made regarding the community's ability to use the facility and were addressed during the meeting. No concerns or opposition were raised during the meeting. Next, the proposal was presented to United Neighbors Association and Greater Chamberlain Neighborhood Association. The proposal was well received by both civics, and with no concern or opposition was approved to move forward. To date, 2 letters of support were mentioned but were not received by our office at this time, to my knowledge, although they may have been sent directly to the zoning board. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Mr. Bembury, quick question. We
Ma'am?
did not, just a comment and a question. We did not receive those 2 letters that were mentioned, but we did receive one from Mount Bodwin Betterment Association and Four Corners Neighborhood Association. Is that an abutter to this project?
I am not aware of those 2 associations are abutters. I am only aware of the United Neighbors Association and Greater Chamberlain Neighborhood Association. I can take a look and to see if that if they are the required or requested civic.
Thank
you. Madam Chair, I have a question for the applicant. So it sounds like this property has not been used for housing recently.
That's correct. To my knowledge, since 1992, when it was acquired by the current owner, Azusa Church, it has never been used for housing.
Okay,
it will not be as part of this.
So there'll be no loss of housing units.
That's correct, Mr. Stenbridge. No loss of housing units.
Thank you, Attorney Fraser.
Okay, let's return to public testimony.
Timothy Gimon, is your turn.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Timothy Guimon. I am from the office of District 4 City Councilor Brian Worrell. We'd like to go on record in support of this project. The applicant did meet with Greater Chamberlain Neighborhood Association and UNA as was recorded. And I did receive confirmation from Greater Chamberlain last night that they are again in support of this project. They did not mention a letter, but we do have that email I can send over as well that they're in support of this project. And with that, the councilor appreciates the continued effort to keep communication up with the butters. And with that, he is in support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Bembury?
Yes, ma'am. I have confirmed that the Greater Four Corners Association and the Cardinals Red Neighborhood Association are within the abutting area of that proposal.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other raised hands?
No, we don't have any additional comments.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are you on mute, Mr. Sturbridge?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Uh, yes.
Okay, Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Baraza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the board.
Next, we have case BOA. BOA 1698254 with the address of 26 North Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain?
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Michelle Bulger. I am here representing Chris Petiti, homeowner of 26 Norton Street, Hyde Park. Mr. Petiti is here with me. Chris purchased his home and pre-existing sheds at 26 Norton in October of 2022. The two sheds on his property appear on his home inspection report. After buying the property, he found that the sheds were built too close to his property line. He has been working with ISD and now seeks consideration from this board. The two sheds are small and are in keeping with his neighborhood. There is no opposition to his request that we are aware. Mr. Petiti asks that the board issue a variance with respect to the setback requirements and allow his sheds to stand nearer than 4 feet to his lot line. He is further asking that the board waive the requirement for a certified plot plan and accept the certified New England Land Survey plan and the revised plan provided, which contain his sheds, and allow ISD to use these drawings to have the sheds plotted or added to its property. Should the board allow this request, we will recommend that the civil action filed against him concerning the two sheds in the Boston Housing Court be dismissed, and we will follow through with ISD following this hearing with the board's decision. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, are there questions from the board?
I would just
Hearing-
ask why
Yes.
they have not engaged a surveyor or to.
So the mortgage inspection plan was certified, and the sheds were easily drawn to the plan, and it would be a financial burden on the homeowner to have another survey, and we would argue unnecessary. It was the cheapest way around. It was a $3,500 survey, which could have been a little bit more than that. So it was looking around $5,000 to have that accomplished. So we were trying to avoid that.
Okay, it's just unclear to me whether we have the authority to waive required documents to allow the landscape plan.
I believe we were told at ISD that the even ISD has that. If the board doesn't have the authority, ISD has the authority. They provided us with a memo granting them that authority to waive that part of it. So I don't think we need that from the board. What they were unable to waive in their planning department was the setback, technically, I think.
Okay, right. Okay, I thought I just heard you say you needed authority from us to.
I
waive.
did ask that, so I shouldn't have, because I
No
think
worries.
Mandy's already comfortable with that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Hyde Park Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process. Due to the nature and simplicity of the proposal, a full community process was not required, and an Office of Neighborhood Services notification flyer was sent out to abutters to notify them of the proponent's intent. But with no community feedback received, the proposal was allowed to move forward. Next, the proposal was presented to Reedville Neighborhood Watch Group on June 19th, where they voted to approve the proposal. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll put forward a motion to approve the relief as noted for accessory buildings inside and rear yards.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Baraza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
So I'm guessing from this there are some technical issues. Would a break be useful to resolve this, or? Caroline?
Let's see. Could we give it just like 2 minutes? I'm guessing the internet maybe is unstable because I know Norm and I have had similar issues
Hi,
this
this is
morning.
Jean. I'm sorry. We're having a bit of technical difficulties, and if you could just give us like 2 minutes, we should be able to get that back on again, okay?
Okay, so why don't we take a 5-minute break so people can do what they may need, and we'll be right back. How's that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
All right, let me share my screen. for your patience.
Recording in progress.
So I do have a quick question, Jean. I have something popped up on my box that says Tanium patch notification. The City of Boston endpoint team has applied patches. Do I need to? It says restart or postpone.
Let me ask Cameron. I'm not really sure what that message is. Hold on just one second and let me ask.
Otherwise, I'm just going to close it and pray it doesn't shut me down.
Okay, yeah, close it and see what happens, Sherry. Hopefully we're good.
Okay, well, if we shut down unexpectedly, that could be why.
Yeah, this has been a day for sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate your patience, everyone.
Thank you. All right, so let's resume. Quick roll call. Mr. Stembridge.
Present, Madam Chair.
Ms. Wewell.
Present.
Mr. Langham.
Present.
Ms. Bettabraza.
Present.
Okay. A reminder that we are a 5-member board. Mr. Stembridge.
Yes, Madam Chair. So we'll start off with case BOA 1699103 with the address of 61 Ponset Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain the case support?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here to present.
Okay.
Good morning, board. My name is Henry Imesoen. I'm the owner of 61 Ponset Street. I bought the property back in September 15th, 2024. It was sold to me as a 2-family. When I tried to go get a permit to renovate it because the property was extensively dilapidated, but I noticed like the attic was finished like an apartment, and so was the basement. So when I went to get a permit to fix it, I found out that it was actually a 3-family. It was approved for a 3-family back on March 15th, 1946. Even if it was sold to me as a 2-family, I discovered that it was a 3-family. And I decided to get a permit to fix it up, to make it legal, to make it into a legal 4-family. The basement was also partially finished. And when I applied for the permit, they said because of the setbacks, to make it to a 4-family, it was denied that I have to go in front of the zoning board. I have completed a site survey. Boston survey did the survey. There's a huge garage behind the building that I'm going to be bringing down to create more room for parking. So all the apartments are going to have parking in the backyard and on the side of the building. So that's why I'm here. I already submitted the documents from the architect that redesigned the interior. So I'm just hoping that you guys approve it for me so I can start my renovation. Thank you.
So just to confirm, your renovations are interior only. You're not adding to the footprint?
No, I'm not adding to the footprint, but in the exterior of the house is extensively dilapidated. I'm going to put the deck has to be redone in all floors, and then vinyl siding and the roofing all has to be done.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Hyde Park Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of a well-attended abutters meeting held on May 12th, with congestion and parking concerns voiced multiple times. Abutters felt that already congested neighborhood would be overwhelmed with the additional units and requested they provide off-street parking instead. Other concerns were for the upkeep of the property and whether it would become a rooming house. One abutter did suggest, state that he would like to not see it become a rooming house in the future. Following the abutters meeting on June 11th, the proposal was presented to Edgewater Neighborhood Association, where they voted neutral on the proposal and approved to move forward. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham. Mr. Langham?
He appears to be
He's
frozen.
frozen. Mr. Langham, if you can hear me, you might want to turn off your video. Okay, Mr. Langham, we need a vote from you.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbridge, sorry, Ms. Better Baraza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have case BOA 1729779 with the address of 59 Wells Hill Street. The applicant and/or their representative are present. Would they please explain to the board?
Yes, Mr. Stenbridge. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for granting us the time to be heard regarding this appeal for 59 Weld Hill Street. My name is Justin Burns. I'm an attorney with Pulgini and Norton, business address 10 Forbes Road, Braintree, Massachusetts. I'm here on behalf of the project proponent, Anthony Chaitin, and also with me today is David Freed, the project architect. The proposal before you today is to construct a 3-story, 3-family apartment building at 59 Weld Hill Street, which currently houses a pair of garage structures. Each of the 3 units in this new construction would be a 3-bed, 2-bathroom unit with an average unit size of just under 1,200 square feet. 2 parking spaces would be provided in the rear of the lot for residents. And I also want to add that this would be an owner-occupied building as Mr. Chaitin intends to reside in one of the units. The proponent sees this as an opportunity to bring additional housing to the area by utilizing an underused and rather overgrown lot. The 3-family use is not only zoning compliant, but well within the context of this area, as over 70% of the structures on the street are 3-family dwellings. Our small lot size, which we see as the root cause for most of our violations, is also within context in the surrounding neighborhood. Though the required lot area for a 3-family in the sub-district would be 7,000, most of the lots on Weld Hill barely even have half of that amount of lot space. In fact, per our research, all but one of the properties on Weld Hill Street would have an FAR violation if they were to be built as new constructions under the current code. So we feel that despite the number of violations incurred, our proposal is perfectly in line with what exists in the neighborhood. And I would also note that the BPDA recommendation feels the same. A quick note on our community process. This underwent a full, robust community process with an abutters meeting and a meeting with the JPNC, who I believe filed a letter of support with the board. And with that, I will turn it over to David Freed to quickly run through the plans, and I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justin. Madam Chair and members of the board, my name is David Freed, and I'm an architect at Chu & Company, the address of 1 Billings Road, Quincy, Massachusetts, 02171. If you could go back to the 2 pages to the front elevation, please. I'm sorry, just go back to the plans, to the first floor plan and the second floor plan, A11. Thank you so much. Justin already elaborated about the setbacks and our zoning violations. I'll just quickly take you through the plans. We have an owner-occupied 3-family that's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. We organized the living space so that fronted the street and the corner, and we set the bedrooms in the back. If we go to the next plan, please. When we go to the second and third floors, the units get a little larger at 1,200 square feet each. And if you could please move it to sheet A21. One more sheet, please. A21, thank you. We raised the building to so that our first floor was in line with the abutting buildings, so that we had the same relationship, and to facilitate handicap access to the first floor unit, as it's a group 1 unit. We have a lift that is incorporated into the first floor deck. Next slide, please. Because this is a building that's on a corner, we tried to address the other front on Wachusett as a front rather than as a side. And we also conceived of this as a three-family with a flat roof, so as to bookend Wachusett on each end, as there's an existing three-family on the opposite side of Wachusett. Next page, please. This is the side elevation as seen from the abutting house number 57, and we have a small rear yard. We'll have a couple of parking spaces. Next slide, please. And that may be the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
I have one question. Oops, I don't know why my camera went off. I have one question regarding on the Google Images. I see this really beautiful, like large oak tree, but I'm not seeing that on your survey plot plan. Is that oak tree on your property?
Yes, the oak tree. Sorry, David, if you want to speak.
I was just going to ask them to call it the plot plan. I think it is shown on the plot plan.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Yeah, you can go back to see. Yeah.
Yeah, but yes,
So
it is
it's
on our
on
property.
your property.
Yeah.
And can you zoom in on that? Showing me where it is. Okay. But it's showing it as if it's
built into the garage. It's growing out of the garage and the retaining wall.
okay. It looks like a very large, healthy tree from the image. Are you're gonna be removing that tree?
So that was the initial plan, and the community raised similar concerns about the oak tree. Many members of the on Weld Hill Street, they have a great appreciation for the tree, and as does the proponent. So we are more than happy to work with BPDA design review should we be approved to look for solutions to be able to maintain the tree. As David said, it's currently growing into one of those garage structures in the rear. Its roots have grown through the wall and it's sort of leaning on it for support. But we're more than happy to explore options through design review to try to keep it because we have heard extensively the community's wanting to preserve the tree. So we definitely are open to any solutions to try to keep it on.
Okay, that sounds good. Just because these trees around these neighborhoods are over 100 years old, so sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Jamaica Plain Community Engagement Specialist of the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on June 23rd, with many abutters voicing concern for maintaining the trees on the property and affordability. Abutters agreed they would like to see the large tree on the property remain, as well as an affordable unit to address affordability, as the city is in need of affordable housing. An inquiry on the properties with smaller violations was also, with similar violations was also addressed during the meeting. On July 16th, the proposal was presented to Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council Zoning Committee, where they voted to approve and support the proposal under the condition of a design review. To date, our office has been informed of a support letter, but has not been received at this time and may have been sent to the zoning board directly. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. With that, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval with a proviso that the project undergoes BPD design review, paying special attention to the preservation of that large tree at the rear, and also site plan review to address some of the concerns in the recommendation as it relates to side yard on Wachusett and the open space to replace the proposed parking.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Senator Braza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 173-1754 with the address of 3815 Washington Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Hi there. My name is Scott Given, Madam Chair and members of the board. Thank you for having us here today. I am the founder and executive director of the Croft School. We are a small independent private school located at 3815 Washington Street in Jamaica Plain. We opened our school in 2020, September 2020. We have grown quickly over the last 5 years. We have about 240 students today, primarily from the city of Boston. About 40% of our students are students of color, but 60% of our students receive financial support to be able to access our school. We're currently a preschool through grade 5 school. We'll be adding grade 6 this coming school year. We are here today because our building, the way it's zoned, has school is a conditional use above the first floor. And if you, on the slides, want to go to, page 7 is probably would make sense. I think I can talk over this, and if there's specific questions about the design, we can go to those. But school's a conditional use above the ground floor. Back in 2021, we sought to change the use on the second floor of the building into allow a school to operate there. And that effort through this same process was successful. So we've continued to expand our student population over the last several years. And now we've worked out an agreement with the building owner to lease space on the third floor of the building as well, where we would put 3 additional classrooms that will allow us to complete kind of the full enrollment of the school in this one building. But we need zoning approval to do so, and I believe that the technical term would be we need an extension of non-conforming use, from my understanding. Just a couple of quick things. In terms of parking and traffic flow, our teachers use off-site parking. We have a really broad range of arrival time and dismissal time, and very closely managed traffic flows. And there's kind of been minimal to zero kind of interruption of traffic in the area, even as we've grown into a 240 student school today. And I would say that the school is really beloved by our families, and by the neighborhoods that we serve as well. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Jamaica Plain Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on June 23rd, with many abutters voicing concern for maintaining the, excuse me, I do apologize. The community process was consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on June 26th, with one abutter in attendance who spoke very highly of the proposal, the proponent and the school with how helpful and loved they are in the neighborhood. On July 16th, the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council Zoning Committee voted to approve this project as well. To date, our office has not received any letters of opposition or support. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Okay, Minor.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Mina Perez, Executive Director for the Carpenter and Labor Management Program. First, we want to say kudos to the proponent for the great mission, the great work being done with this organization. It is greatly appreciated by our hundreds of members that live and work in the city of Boston. And simply, we want to remind them about the importance of hiring responsible contractors to perform any work. Thank you so much. We're in favor of it.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, with that, we don't have additional hands raised at the moment.
Okay. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, can I ask a question? I'm sorry I didn't bring this up. What's the parking situation for the school currently? Like, how many parking spaces do you have?
Yeah, this used to be a grocery store. So there's a large parking lot adjacent to the school. If I had to estimate how many on-site parking spots there would be, it would be about 30 to 35.
And is that used for the school?
It's used for the school. It's not used by our teachers. It's just used by families for drop off and pickup. And we have a process where for older students, it's kind of a drop and go. So it's really just used by preschool and pre-K families for.
So I would just advocate as you grow, because that it's growing, that you're right next to the Forest Hills T stop, like in
Yes.
walking distance. And if there's a
Yes.
way that you can also look urbanistically, like what is the impact along that corridor, and what you can do as a school to promote using transportation, walkable modes, that would relieve a lot of impact in the neighborhood as you grow. Just because you're expanding internally doesn't mean that you don't have an impact
Yep.
outside of the building. So I would just encourage you to look at that as a plan.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
love that.
I don't have further questions.
Thank you.
With that, is there a motion?
I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1729941 with the address of 34 Atlanta Street. If the applicant and or the representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Ivan Hernandez. The proposed project consists of expanding an existing single-family house, small single-story. We're adding this here shows the existing floor plans of the house. It's basically consists of a basement area with a small first floor footprint, and then a half-story attic space above that's currently finished. If you go on to the next page, you'll see the existing elevations of the house and what it currently looks like. On the upper left side, you have the front right side on the right, and then rear elevation on the lower left, and then the left elevation on the bottom right. If you go on to the next page, you'll see the proposed floor plans. As I said, the house is being expanded upwards, so there is no change in the footprint of the basement, with the exception of that we are expanding or extending the foyer entry space forward by 4 feet. So the first plan on the left is the basement plan. We are also doing a minor expansion of the existing garage. The second floor plan is shows the proposed second level and then upper level. This here shows you the front elevation of the house from the street view, what the proposed house would look like. The side elevations and the rear elevations, there are very similar properties on the street and the area there that are very similar to the house. That's pretty much the scope of work in the proposed work.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Good morning, Madam Chair and board members. Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on June 25th, at which no concerns were raised. The petitioner presented to the West Roxbury Neighborhood Council, which voted to support the application. With that background, our office defers to the judgment of the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
There's a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1729343 with the address of 82 Oakland Street. The applicant and or the representative present, please explain to the board.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Thomas McMahon. I'm here with my mother, Vera McMahon, who is the property owner at 82 Oakland Street. Thank you very much for providing us the opportunity to put on our appeal. We are proposing a change of occupancy from single family to a two-family residence with a new 26 by 42 foot rear addition to serve as the second unit as permitted as the submitted plans. The modest conversion would allow me to return to Brighton, where I have deep family roots and long-standing connection to the Brighton community. My goal is to establish a multi-generational living arrangement. I would reside in one unit with my family, and my mother would reside in the other unit. This would allow me to care for her and to continue to support one another while staying engaged in and contributing to the neighborhood. I grew up in Brighton, and I continue to work at a local university, and I provide volunteer services in Brighton community with veterans. The proposed changes will not alter the overall footprint or scale of the existing structure. I'm committed to preserving the architectural character of the home and ensuring the design remains consistent with nearby properties. I believe this proposal supports the city goals of increasing housing flexibility and keeping families together in Boston. I have also proactively communicated and reached out to my neighbors around the project and gracefully received their support. While I understand this request use is not currently allowed as of right, I respectfully ask the board to consider granting us the necessary variance. The proposed use in keeping with the residential nature of the neighborhood and is consistent with similar multifamily homes in the vicinity. So if we want to review the floor plan here, this is the basement here, so that's going to be the 26 by 42 foot basement, which is basically going to be for HVAC and mechanical purposes. So we're looking at the new proposed addition there. This is basically the top-down floor plan. To the right is the existing structure, and to the left would be the proposed addition, the 26 by 42 foot addition. That would be connected by a 10 foot by 12 foot breezeway. On the first, I think, yeah, that's still the basement on the left. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so this would be the south view elevation, looking from the backyard down into the property. And then on the right-hand side, this is the cutout view. So we're proposing basement, first floor, and second floor, which stays within the same footprint as the existing property. If we go to the next slide. Okay, this would be the west side elevation here of the home. You can see the existing structure is on the left. It would be connected to the new structure by the breezeway. And then at the very tail end of the property, we're proposing to put on a deck on the first floor and on the second floor. Go to the next slide. This would be the east side elevation here. So on the right-hand side is the existing property, the existing structure. As you walk in again into the backyard, so there is a driveway in front of that existing structure there. As you walk in, you could see the 10 by 12 foot breezeway. The door on the right would be to the existing unit. The door on the left would be to the new unit. And then this would be our front entryway here. Next slide. Okay, here, this looks like Yep, this looks like the first floor elevation. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So first floor, typical, oh no, this looks like the second floor. So on the second floor, proposing 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And on the first floor here, proposing kitchen, living room, and a bedroom with a bathroom. So I think overall we're looking at 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms for this particular unit. So I think the variances here, the 2 Article 51, Section 8, was because the area is zoned as a single family. So although to the right of us is a 2-family and to the left of us is a 2-family. And immediately on our left-hand side, our footprint would be equivalent to the existing property right next door to us. The other article was side yard insufficient. So we're looking at anywhere from 7 feet, 7 inches of clearance on the west side, and we have almost 10 feet of clearance on the right side. And that finishes my overview.
Thank you, sir. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on June 18th, at which multiple abutters were supportive of the proposal. The applicant presented to the Brighton Alston Improvement Association, which voted to support the application. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was one person, Annabella, no sé, I'm not sure if you're gonna speak.
Yeah, Madam Chair, Annabelle Gomes from the Brighton Alston Improvement Association. We'd like to go on record in support of this project. We feel this project is great. It is great being able to support multi-generations of families staying in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. There are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
We'll make a motion of approval. I think the shape of the lot sort of lends itself to the side yard setback relief, as when the additional unit of housing is contextual with the neighborhood.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Better Barazza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much, board.
Before we move on to the 11 a.m. hearings, we'll call again for case. Bear with me. Case BOA 1703901. The address of 1891 Columbus Avenue. If the applicant and or the representative are present, would they please explain?
I think there is one person, Presley. You are in the attendee section, and then I just sent to you an invitation. Please make sure to accept it. Presley. All right.
Is the applicant for IAO auto repair on?
All right. I don't think that was the person.
He told me he was on as a call. Oh, there he goes.
Yes. Hi, good morning. Sorry about the technical challenges here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, please state your name and address for the record and proceed.
Yes. Good morning. My name is Presley Nelson. and the address is 1891 Columbus Ave. I'm here to respectfully request approval to sell vehicles in the parking lot of 1891 Columbus Avenue in Roxbury, which currently operates as a car repair shop. This proposal involves no construction, no structural changes, and no impact on the existing building. The sales will be limited to vehicles displayed in the existing parking lot area, ensuring the property remains orderly, safe, and compliant with zoning requirements. My goal is to enhance the business services, create additional economic activities, and provide the community with a convenient local option for quality used vehicles. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I respectfully ask for your approval.
Can you go ahead? I'm sorry.
I purchased the place in July 2024, and we become operational in April 2014. I own a school bus transportation company, and not the yellow school, but the small minivans. So I purchased the location mainly with the objective in mind to actually repair and maintain my own vehicles, and also provide additional services for neighborhoods who are looking to have their cars repaired. Since I'm in the business of cars, so we thought about getting a license. I believe there was a license that had been granted already, so we can actually go to auctions, purchase vehicles, and when the vehicles, after 5 years, we don't use them again, we can sell them. So as stated, there will not be any changes on the structure of the building, no additional construction. This will be a very limited 10 to 15 cars parking sites that we are looking to have license to sell vehicles and purchase. With that, any questions, I welcome them.
Yeah, so can you confirm, so you just mentioned 10 to 15 cars for sale, but you also mentioned like mini vans or school buses that are also going to be located on the site. So does the 10 to 15 include those, or how many spaces are utilized for that?
The drivers keep the vehicles with them because those are minivans like Toyota Siennas, and some of those drivers, they have to leave early, so they keep the vehicles with them at all times, even over the summer, because we want summer.
So you're not parking them on the site. That's what I heard you saying.
Very few that we park on the site.
Okay, and can you just clarify, where do you exit and enter? Where are your,
we exit right in the front here, as you can see, to bottom right hand corner. That's where we will actually exit, and there is additional gates there, but we have not used the gates because the city has just put the bus stop there, so it makes it very tight. So we enter and exit right at the very bottom where the cart is.
Other questions from the board?
Yeah, the applicant mentioned 10 to 15 vehicles, but in your site plan, you have 20 spaces.
Right. To be honest with you, when it was given, I had asked for about 15 vehicles, but they showed 20. If we get 20, great. 15, that's totally fine.
And is your current, so is your use, what's your current use right now?
Right now, we use the shop to repair and maintain our own fleet. And there has been customers walking in where we provide car repair services for them as well.
I guess what I'm asking is, what's your current zoning use? I'm trying to see if I can look it up.
I'm not sure.
You're asking for a variance for forbidden outdoor sales of new and used motor vehicles. What's your current use right now? And maybe Hampton can support answering this. Colleagues, if I'm not seeing it in front of me.
Yeah, right now. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jeff Hampton, City of Boston Planning Department. Currently, it's zoned MFR, which is why it's a forbidden use. And I know they want to add, it is currently an automotive use where they do repairs. So from an expansion of the permit to allow auto sales is, in our mind, consistent, which is why we are on the record in support of this. I'm not sure who dictates the number of spaces they are allowed or how many vehicles they are allowed to sell. I don't know if that's licensing or if there's another department that would weigh in on how many vehicles they actually get to store and sell there. But we are on record in support of this because it's just the continuation of an already automotive use.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I believe when you were in order, we had, can you mention if you have any issues with any abutters?
No. There was one time with one of the members in the first committee meeting had raised some concern about the lightning that we had. And that no longer works anymore. We shut it down and we have technical challenges, and it has not been operational in a couple of months now.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks. I don't have any further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Jamaica Plain Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on May 1st, with 3 abutters in attendance. One abutter voiced a concern for keeping vehicles only on the property, and another voiced opposition, stating the bright flashing LED light was an offense to the neighborhood. The proponent did inquire if removal of the light would gain that abutter's support, which the abutter replied in the affirmative. On June 2nd, the proposal was presented to the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council Zoning Committee, where a vote for approval was reached. To date, our office has received 1 letter of opposition with a number of concerns such as automobile trash, car mats, and batteries on the property, as well as a fence encroaching on their abutter's property. Other concerns were also referenced, although I will not read the letter in full, as the letter has been sent to the Zoning Board of Appeals for review. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Okay, Watts, you can speak now.
Ms. Watts, we do have your letter, but if you want to briefly share with us your opposition or support.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for the people who are here. Currently, if you just do a Google Zoom or whoever, I'm not really as technical as you young people are, but you will see right now that there's over 20 vehicles on that site, back to back to back. They are stored there every day. I would disagree with the owner, who says that they take their vehicles with them because it is packed, as you can see from Google right now, car to car to car. There are commercial size vehicles that fit 30 plus people in them. Those extended vehicles that hold 15 people, not including over several of the 15 passenger vans, not including minivans. So I would strongly disagree with the owner. As the owner knows, he just recently finished adding an addition to the building that he said he has made none. Literally, because I took pictures of them as they were actually building it. And I don't even think it's completed, but it was allegedly, we could say it was completed in the last 2 weeks. So there are more than 20 vehicles, not just 15 passenger vans, not just the minivans that hold about 10 people, but commercial size vehicles. I'm concerned. I literally am behind them. Literally antifreeze bottles thrown over the fence, urine bottles thrown over the fence into my yard, which I have to clean up. Trash that accumulates so conveniently slips through the gate into my yard. So I have left the debris so people can see it until we have this meeting. And then I'm going to clean up the debris that I experience from AIO, whoever XYZ repair. There has not been one, and I don't know for sure, but I'm 99.5% one car repaired by somebody in this community, because the vehicles, the commercial vehicles for P&N transportation, block the bays. There's 3 bays. The bays are physically blocked by his P&N vehicles. So for you to grant that he's already using this as a storage facility for his P&N vehicles, for you then to, on top of that, grant him 15 more parking spaces that don't exist already for car sales. What are we doing to our environment? That is a small, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I didn't know if you were interrupting me. That's a small law.
Just wrap up, ma'am.
Yep, I'm wrapped.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Without there are no additional comments, Madam Chair.
Can the applicant please address the concerns that were raised?
Yes. Yes, I'd like to. And thank you, Mrs. Watts, for your comments. And although regarding the construction, you said that had been added. That is not correct, because there was already a license issued by the city for the construction. All we did is repair. This thing did not look good. If anything, you could say it looks much better. We did not add not even 1 square feet to the actual location of the property. We do have, as far as the trash, we do have a dumpster, and we use the dumpster for all the trash. So now I'm not saying like there has not been time where there may be trash in our yard, but we do have a huge dumpster. As a matter of fact, it is being serviced every week, every Monday morning. And as far as the service, you're welcome to use it. I can show you my book. We are providing the service. It's not 90% of we don't have 90% of customers walking in, but if you bring your car there to have your engine or brake service, that will be done right away. So if the neighbors have not chosen to use our services, that's unfortunate, but we are here to service the neighborhood.
I'm sorry, Jesus, there was one more hand that raised. Is that new person asking to speak on behalf of this project? We've heard from Mrs. Watts already.
Can you please proceed?
Oh, he says no. All right. Any other questions from the board?
I have just one last question. What are your hours of operation?
It's 7 to 3 as far as the mechanic shop, but we do also provide athletic services for a number of schools. So typically in the afternoon, for instance, starting at 1 p.m., all the drivers will take the Ford Transit and they will go pick up the kids to go to soccer practice, and they will bring them back. Usually they come back by 6, 7. But as far as the car repair service, that is shut down at 3 p.m. We only have one mechanic at this moment. He leaves at 3 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Madam Chair,
yes,
my question would be that the vehicles that are currently on the lot will no longer be on the lot.
That is correct. Our main goal here, the business, we've purchased a lot in Brockton on 509 North Montello Street in Brockton. That's where we will be parking the vehicles. I just put a fence around it last week. So in the next couple of weeks, the additional vehicles will be parked there to enable our service for more space for customers to actually come in and have their vehicle services.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval with a proviso that the project undergoes BPDA design review, paying special attention to the site planning, particular a buffer, like landscape form of buffer, and to look at potentially closing some of the curb cuts, because currently there's 3 of them, and to work with BPDA staff to determine the adequate amount of parking spaces for those vehicles, and to provide adequate screening since it is in a multifamily neighborhood.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to the hearing scheduled for 11 a.m. Again, we'll remind folks that we are a 5-member board today. And I'll also ask if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 11 o'clock a.m.
Yes, Mr. Stenbridge, 208 8th Street, please.
So that would be for case BOA 173-0151 with the address of 208 H Street. Would you please explain, Attorney Spitz?
Yes, great. Thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Ryan Spitz with Adams and Moranci, business address of 168 H Street, first floor, South Boston. We're here requesting an administrative deferral. Again, seeking a short deferral to be heard in front of a full 7-member board, please.
We could do October 7th or October 28th.
I think we'll take the 28th because we're trying to also rectify a small issue in the refusal letter. There was a side yard setback violation that was missing. So again, we're going to have to try to have that added back in. So I believe this will have to be re-advertised as well. So the 28th will work, please.
May I have a motion?
Motion to defer till October the 28th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yeah.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Are there any more requests for withdrawals or deferrals from 11 o'clock? Hearing none, move on to case BOA 171-8302 with the address of 164 Dorchester Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Okay, 1 second. I think there is one person on the attendee section. Mike, I sent to you an invitation. Please make sure to accept it. Okay, now so you can proceed, Mike.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Sorry about the confusion on the electronics. So this is was a 2-family home in South Boston for many years, owned by the same family for a long time. It was an 8-bedroom single family, and at one time, and then it was converted by the family to a 2-family, but they did not have proper permits, so it was never recorded properly as a 2-family. And what we'd like to do is legalize it as a 2-family and that's why we're before you today. We don't really have too many issues other than the parking issue ratio. We are surrounded by multi-families in this project. And I believe that unfortunately, I can't scroll through everything. I had to close my other window to get this open. Sorry. You bear with me for 1 minute.
Sir?
Yes, sorry. I'm trying to open the other window because it locked me out when I had to click over the panelists. So we have this existing building that we're not increasing the square footage of the existing building. We believe we're making it safer than it was for egress because it had two treacherous rear staircases that were very narrow and very steep. And now we're making them more compliant for egress. So we had an 8-bedroom single family, and now we're going to have 8-bedroom 2-family is what we're proposing. And again, we have to get relief from the parking situation. FAR wise, we meet the lot size that's required for 2-family, other than the new zoning from not when this property was built, but original zoning allowed for the 2-family. The new one requires an additional, I think it's 480 square feet of zoning for the additional unit. Can I answer any questions about the plans?
Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on June 26th, at which no concerns were raised. The Dorchester Heights Neighborhood Association is aware of the proposal and chose to take no position. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Okay, we have somebody from Ed Flynn office.
Hi, thank you. This is Sydney from Councillor Flynn's office. Councillor Flynn would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Without, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
The next case is deferred, so we'll move on to case BOA 1728774 with the address of 1 to 17 Harvard Avenue. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Okay. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Don Wiest with the law firm of Dane Torpy. We're at 175 Federal Street in downtown Boston. And with me this morning are the three principals of the Great Scott Project. That's Carl Lavin, who's been with Great Scott for over 2 decades. Paul Armstrong, who's very involved in the music business and music promotion across Boston. And amateur musician real estate guy, Jordan Warshaw. I'm going to give you a brief procedural overview on the project and then pass the presentation over to Carl Lavin. I'll start by explaining for context. And by the way, if you don't mind, if we could just move back to the first picture, I'll let my co-presenter go through the slideshow. Thank you very much. So for context, this is a project that's been 5 years in the making. The goal has been to bring back the legendary Great Scott music performance space. Spaces like this have been closing around the city and across the country. This one shut down during COVID, and it's now coming back. This project is a mixed-use one. It will have 2 performance spaces on the ground floor, the 300-seat Great Scott Project, a smaller 75-seat O'Brien's Pub, live entertainment venue. There'll be food and beverage, maybe some retail on the ground floor. And then to spread the costs and make this a financially viable project, there'll be 139 small, compact, efficient residential units above. The project was approved by the BPA board on April 10th of this year. It had overwhelming community support. We received approximately 358 support letters versus 5 in opposition. Since that time, by our count, we've got in 1,584 support letters for this project as it's headed into today's hearing. With that said, let me pass the presentation over to Carl Lavin.
Hi, thanks for having us today. I'm Carl Lavin, and I've been involved with Great Scott since 2003, starting it as a first weekly and eventually talking the owner into becoming a full-time venue in 2004. Soon the venue became more than a bar with a stage. It evolved into one of the most respected live venues in North America, and numerous bands that have played stadiums, festivals, and arenas have played at Great Scott along the way. As we all know, the COVID shutdown in 2020 in 2020 came along, and Great Scott never reopened. And because we didn't control the space and displayed 25,000 signatures on a petition and tens of thousands of dollars raised by hundreds of supporters to bridge the gap until it could reopen, the landlord just wants something else, and so now it's a Taco Bell. Those experiences, along with that overwhelming support, is what inspired our group. This isn't just a construction project. It's the hub of a community, and we're beholden to it. It's been nearly 5.5 years since this quest began, and I've learned that arts projects are hard to finance, in addition to being hard to sustain. And the only way forward was to replace the landlords with ourselves in the equation, so that tie Great Scott to a mixed-use project and take the destiny into our own hands. Make sure the Great Scott could, in fact, reopen and can thrive. And with that, I hand it to Jordan Warshaw.
Thank you, Carl. My name is Jordan Warshaw. I'm with the Noanit Group, a small Boston-based real estate and development firm. I'm in real estate as my day job and a passionate music fan as sort of my passion in life. I go to 50 or 75 concerts a year. My projects always try to have a music focus to them, which is how I met Paul Armstrong, who connected Carl and myself. Paul is the promoter of the Boston Music Awards and many other things in the Boston music ecosystem. And as Carl brought Paul in to try and figure out the best way to bring Great Scott back in a sustainable way, Paul and I had gotten together doing the music for another project. And Paul said, why don't we bring in Jordan from the real estate side to figure out how to make this work? And what we decided was, with these venues closing in Boston and around the country, people that have been around for a while know how many small music venues Boston used to have and what a small fraction are left. The problem is they're dependent on landlords, and landlords would rather have credit tenants. No offense to Taco Bell. I like Taco Bell. Everybody does, but they're a big national company that is a credit tenancy, and they're better for landlords. So we said, let's be our own landlord. Let's find a spot as close to the original Great Scott as possible. If we could go down one slide, please. So the original Great Scott is at the bottom of this slide at the corner of Harvard Ave and Com Ave. And we were able to put together a collection of parcels at the corner of Harvard Ave and Cambridge Street, just 2 long blocks away. So maintaining in the heart of Allston, which, as many of you will know, has really been the heart of the Boston ecosystem. And the plan is to bring Great Scott back and be the landlord and the tenant. And even better, Great Scott's sister venue for many years was O'Brien's Pub, which is on this site. So not only are we bringing Great Scott back, but we're preserving O'Brien's, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, for the long-term future as well. We've been asked the question, why couldn't you just put Great Scott and O'Brien's in a 1-story building and just be done with it? And I think you all know the answer, which is you can't do that with Boston real estate prices. We've got to make this thing work. We've got to make it viable. Boston obviously needs housing as much as it needs anything. And so we came up with the idea of building a project with housing on top, of course, acoustically isolated and so on, to spread the fixed cost, the land, the permitting, Don, who we love, but who isn't cheap, and everything else over a full building rather than just over the venue. And so we've designed a building, as Don said, with small residential units to attempt to keep the price reasonably small A affordable for the portion of the units that are not capital A affordable, which by the way is 20%. And the idea is to have a building that helps cement Alston as the real home of new music. We've got the new 3,500 seat Roadrunner, a couple of blocks in one direction. We've got Paradise and Brighton Music Hall in another direction. We've got other small venues like the Sill just around the corner. This is a hub of small music for Boston, and by bringing Great Scott back and preserving O'Brien's, we're going to keep it that way for many decades. Next slide. Just showing the corner. This is looking to the southwest at the current site, which has several one-story buildings and a two-story house on it today. Next. We could go into this for an hour if people were interested. We know you don't have that, but our architects, one thing we will not do is put up a building that looks like every other building in Boston. We're working with an architect, Cambridge 7, who really is great at making unique looking buildings. And they designed the rhythm of the windows and the paneling in the building to align with syncopation. I don't know if people are familiar with it, but it's sort of a drumming pattern where you get an unexpected beat in the middle of a regular 4/4 kind of beat. So you see at the top that you see how the beat sort of varies throughout that pattern. And I won't bore you with the whole story, but that's how the building rhythm was designed. Next slide. These are some inspiration images. We are at a prominent corner when you come off the pike from either direction and you come down Cambridge Street into Alston, you cross over the pike, and then you come to this corner. And in talking with the planners at the planning department, they encouraged us to create a signature taller building at the corner than the buildings surrounding it, like these other City of Boston precedent images. Also, what building taller enabled us to do is to pull the building back from the adjacent properties. We've got an already existing new building on the Cambridge Street side of our property and a soon to be built new building on the Harvard Ave side. And so we pulled back from those buildings with a little courtyard on the west by having the extra height to avoid having to completely fill the block. Next slide. Here is an aerial view of the building with the existing building on Cambridge Street and future building on Harvard Ave shown in gray next to it. Next slide. Another view from ground level. You will note, as you'll see on the next slide, that for those of you that remember the iconic green awning that Great Scott had at the corner of Harvard and Com Ave, we're bringing it back, but in a more modern way. The green awning sort of is Great Scott. The Great Scott merch is green. People remember it as green, so we brought it back. We also, one fun thing that we're doing is at the Great Scott entry, we're going to have a public art competition and invite local artists to submit proposals for the art that will be painted onto the walls of the buildings surrounding the entry. Next slide. View looking up Harvard Ave. Next slide. View looking down Cambridge Street. And that's the new entrance of O'Brien's, by the way, on that side of the street. And by the way, all the posters you've seen on these slides are artists that played at Great Scott and then went on to bigger and better things. Next slide. The layout, I won't spend much time on it, but during Q&A can go through it. You'll notice we do not have an underground garage, both in an effort to actually make this financially feasible, so that unlike the thousands of units in Boston that aren't getting built, we can actually afford to build it. Great transit location. We've got the Green Line, we've got the commuter rail, we've got buses, and we think it's a great time to do this type of project. Great Scott at the corner, you see in blue, O'Brien's in pink at the top, and retail spaces in the residential entry to the south. Next slide. This is just showing some new landscaping we're going to be adding on the site. Next slide. Showing the layout of the building upstairs. You see how, as mentioned, we pull it back, we set it back from the building next door. We have a courtyard opening up to the building next door, so we're not right on top of it. We step back to the west on the upper floors, and we step back to the south on all floors. Continue. And just to wrap up with the old Great Scott awning and the new Great Scott awning.
Okay. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll open it up to public testimony.
Hi. Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Jennifer Roberts, Alston Brighton Liaison, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 1 Harvard Ave, our office is in support of this proposal. Great Scott is a famed Alston institution which promotes local bands and up-and-coming music talent. The revival of this venue, in addition to sorely needed new housing stock, will help to invigorate the Alston Brighton arts community. A community process was conducted, including 2 impact advisory groups on January 24th and February 10th, and a public meeting on February 24th. The proponents also presented to the Alston Civic Association on March 19th. As previously stated, this project initially received 360 letters of support from the community, but there's been thousands since then. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services supports this proposal. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, Madam Chair, we have Moira. You can proceed.
Hi, my name is Laura McCabe. I'm a member of City Councilor Liz Braden's office. Councilor Braden would like to express her strong support for this project. She thinks this is a great mixed-use project that will bring back the Great Scott venue, retain O'Brien's, and also add additional new housing to Alston Village. Our office has received over 1,500 emails in support of this project. And again, she just wants to express her support and the fact that this project will ensure that 2 vital music venues will remain in Alston. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Maynard Perez.
Thank you, Jesus. Madam Chair, members of the board, this is Mina Perez speaking, Executive Director for the Carpenter Labor Management Program. I am here to support the project on behalf of hundreds of union carpenters that live and work throughout the city of Boston and dozens of contractors who operate throughout the city of Boston and Massachusetts who comply with the state and federal law requirements. And we will simply remind the developer the importance of seeing our tax revenues go back into the system in the city of Boston. Therefore, we greatly appreciate holding up the labor standards. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a user. I'm not sure if you can say your name and address, please.
Sorry about that. My name is Ralph Jackadine, and I live in Medford right now, and I work in Boston. I've been doing real estate in Boston for many years, and then I started a record label with the Newbury Comics folks and a music management company. So for about 35 years, I've been managing artists full time. I run something called the Boston Managers Group, which is about 150 music industry folks.
Thank you. Please continue.
Okay. I teach at Berklee College of Music. I know how important live music is and small venues are. There's 2 big players in the music business. They're big corporations. They're the Taco Bells of the world. We need independent places for my artists to play, for my managers to manage, my social media people to work on. It's going to be very wonderful for fun and entertainment and keep the city alive, but for businesses and careers that I spend all day long figuring out how it's going to help my students.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Cullen.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Cullen Dimer. I live at 199 North Harvard Street, and I just wanted to express my strong support for this project. I love that it would anchor the community, the artists around the neighborhood. I love that it would bring to life intersection that's been kind of underutilized for too long. And I also love that you're encouraging transit use and car share with the development as well. So I look forward to attending concerts here, hopefully sooner than later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Wendy.
Sorry about that technical difficulty. Hi, everyone. My name is Wendy Schiller, and I've been an Alston resident for 8 years. I've been a Boston resident for over 12 years. I want to keep this simple because I think a lot of these points have already been said, but I would like to voice my overwhelming support for this project. I believe that the future of touring and local bands in this city rely on these 300 cap rooms. I think in order for it to be financially viable, we need these housing units on top, and I fully support the entirety of the project. Since this project was announced, we have lost other important venues in Alston, including the Sound Museum, a critical rehearsal space for artists. And so a project where an owner like Carl, who truly cares about the music, as well as the other owners involved, can actually be in the driver's seat will make a huge difference in this community, and I cannot overstate that enough. If we zoom all the way back 6 years, when Great Scott was first forced to close in 2020, there was such an incredible public outcry. I didn't realize that my petition to save the club with 7,500 signatures would make such a difference, but we gathered over 25,000, and we're still in counting in a number of days since it closed. And I really think that the fate of this club has been hanging in the air for 5 years, but it is also true that we've been worried about O'Brien's Club too. The block that it sits on has been for sale since 2019, and we were worried because its future all seemed but guaranteed to go to just another like Taco Bell wannabe landlord who wants to put in, more things for that don't work for the working artists in this community. I've seen this process firsthand as a member of the ACA since 2020. The artists and musicians here have been feeling squeezed, so I just again want to
We have a lot
voice
of
my
raised
overwhelming
hands.
support for this project.
Thank you. We have a lot of raised hands. Please just say
Yep.
whether you're in
Thank you.
support or opposition. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Next we have iPhone number 3. You can yourself name and address, please.
Hi, name is Rose Conley. Address is Boulevard Terrace in Alston. I am a longstanding member of the Alston neighborhood and have been to Great Scott since 2010s. My mom was someone who would often visit the club before me, as she was the lottery lady around here. I'm voicing full support for this project, as we are truly missing a huge piece of the neighborhood since this venue closed, and in full support of protecting O'Brien's as well. This is such a meaningful project.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next we have Ricky Menke.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ricky Mikey. I'm the creator and founder of the Rat City Arts Festival, a festival for artists that started due to the closure of the Great Scott and many other spaces for local artists. As someone who's been an advocate for local art, I could be in full support of this project and for the re-debut of the Great Scott in the neighborhood. So thank you, everyone, for your full support. This will drastically continue to change our neighborhood to continue to be a home for artists and ensure that artists remain in Alston. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Anthony.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Tony Disadoro, representing the Alston Civic Association. First of all, I want to say, as a frequent patron of the old Great Scots and an occasional patron of O'Brien's in the past, who wouldn't be supportive of bringing Great Scott back and revitalizing O'Brien's? So we start there, and we're supportive of the fact that they're coming back. We are going to defer judgment to the board. Proponents came to us on March 19th with the proposal. And the reason we're deferring judgment is there was no clear consensus on the membership vote, but I feel obligated to at least mention a couple of concerns for those that either voted for it but expressed concerns, or those that opposed it. And the concerns raised was obviously density concerns, no parking, pickup and drop off for residents, workers, patrons, and musical acts was never clearly articulated by the proponents, lack of streetscape and open space, and construction mitigation in a very busy and strategic intersection.
We feel, those that did have concerns feel that the lack of on-street parking in the area will be further compromised with the development of all the properties taking place in that area, including, Madam Chair, there's been a new proposal to construct a 96-room hotel that we're all excited about, but guess what? That is also another proposal with no parking whatsoever. So given it's a key access point, a very strategic intersection to the Mass Pike and what have you, there's just simply concerns that congestion and delay in the area will be normalized. And then just one quick editorial point. We are not opposed in general to projects with no parking, given that if they're in transportation corridors, we can see the offset there and everything. We would appreciate, though, some guarantees from the city, whether it's through the lease agreements or whether it's the issuing of resident parking, to further ensure that people who rent in these no parking developments are indeed committed to not owning a car. Because if they rent in these buildings and they do own a car, of course, the only option they have is to put it on the street. And like I say, we have a very serious problem with on-street parking, especially in this part of Alston. So again, we're going to defer judgment to the board and again, express our strong approval of having Great Scott come back to our community and the revitalization of O'Brien.
Thank you. So for those remaining, please just state your name, address, and whether you're in support or opposition so we can get through everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next we have Sirime. Please, name and address and your position.
Hi there. I am a resident of Alston, have been for 6 years. I will say my piece, but I'll do it quickly. As somebody who has faced the closures of the different musical areas, whether it's rehearsal spaces or venues itself, as a musician, as a drummer, we need those spaces. I moved to Alston because of the music, and I've made a commitment to stay despite the lack of affordability. So I think it's time for the city to make a commitment to us as the residents who live there, as the patrons who go there, to bring back Great Scott. And I am in full support.
Thank you. I'm going to ask folks to start putting your position in the chat and take 2 more.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so next we have Tim Brawl. If you can unmute yourself, please.
Hi, yes, my name is Tim Brault. I'm actually a former resident of the area, now live out in Western Mass. And in addition to the points that have already been raised, I just wanted to mention that I still travel to O'Brien's on a fairly regular basis. It's about an hour and a half drive because the venues are needed that badly. In addition to the benefits that have already been mentioned, just wanted to point out again that there's going to be significant additional tax revenue for the city generated by people coming in to attend shows at Great Scott and O'Brien's, and just voice my strong support for the project.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the last one, if that's okay. Next one is Trevor.
Hi, my name is Trevor McSweeney. I'm the Director of Operations for Studio 52 Boston. We provide 230 rehearsal studios to Alston between our 2 buildings. And I will keep this short. I know that we are short on time, but I just wanted to voice my overwhelming support for this project. When Great Scott first closed down, I watched a lot of musicians actually move out of the city, and visual artists as well. When the Sound Museum closed down, and this was when we were only operating 1 building and people had no place to go. We have since opened a 2nd building, and we're trying to support artists in that way, but we can't do it all. We need the city to support people like Carl, who want to keep this city the way it's always been, which is, well, this part of the city, a hub for artists, new music, visual artists. And without that, this city will be boring. It'll be, like we've all said, it'll be nothing but Taco Bells, and nobody wants that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who submitted written comment as well as comments on the chat. Are there any other questions from the board? If not, I think we're ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll put forward a motion of approval. I think the variances are appropriate for this site. This is a prominent corner at Cambridge Street and Harvard Ave, so I think the design in the building massing is appropriate. It provides 139 housing units with 20% affordability, 2 small-scale music venues, which are both of those are very sorely needed. And, I think this does place people over parking, so I'm happy to support this.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we'll jump ahead to the rediscussion scheduled for 11:30 and ask if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the time frame.
Yes, Mr. Stenbridge. Good morning. It's Richard Lins. Basically, the entire 11:30 list, with the exception of the last hearing.
Can you state address by address so we can read them into the record? Thank you.
Sure. Apologies.
Yeah,
starting with 89 Condor Street.
Okay. So that would be for case BOA 1729459 with the address of 89 Condor Street.
Thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Again, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, Richard Lins, business address of 245 Summer Street, on behalf of the petitioner, requesting administrative deferral, preferably to the earliest date possible, that we anticipate at least a 6-member board, if that's possible.
Caroline?
We could do October 7th.
Perfect.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer to October the 7th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Next are companion cases 390 Meridian Street and 355 Border Street.
So that would be for, those two would be case BOA 1671558 with the address of 390 Meridian Street, along with case BOA 1671561 with the address of 355 Border Street.
Again, thank you. For the record, Richard Lins, 245 Sumner Street, East Boston, on behalf of the petitioner. Once again, requested an administrative deferral to a future date with at least, hopefully, a 6-member board minimum.
Okay, Caroline?
October 7th.
Excellent.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer to October 7th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
87 Morris Street, companion cases. I believe one's building code, one is zoning.
So that request would be for case BOA 1482368 with the address of 87 Morris Street, along with case BOA 1482374, which also has an address of 87 Morris Street.
Thank you again. For the record, Richard Lynch, 245 Sumner Street, East Boston, on behalf of the petitioner, requesting administrative deferral. October 7th would be ideal as well.
Yep, that's available.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer to October the 7th.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries.
Last but not least, 81 Lexington Street.
Which is case BOA 1575584 with the address of 81 Lexington Street.
Thank you once again, Mr. Stembridge. Richard Lins, 245 Sumner Street, on behalf of the petitioner, requesting administrative deferral. If October 7th is still available, that would be ideal. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer to October 7th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Baraza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. We'll see you then.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
With that, we will return to the last hearing for 11 a.m., which is case BOA 1741679 with the address of 664 to 66 Donnybrook Road. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would you please explain to the board?
Hello, we're Jim and Doris Prince.
Are you here to speak?
Yep. Jim and Doris Prince, and we live at and own 6466. It's a Philadelphia style two-family home that 4 generations of my family have lived in since 1925. Doris and I live upstairs at 64 Donnybrook, which is a 3-bedroom apartment. Our daughter Samantha and her husband Joe they rent from us and live downstairs at 66. It's 1 bedroom and also an office for Joe. Samantha and Joe very much like to continue to live in Boston. They explored single-family homes in Brighton, but they're priced beyond their reach. So our renovation would extend an existing 3rd-story dormer by 18.5 feet. That's a good slide. It's far right, it's labeled existing, but it's really the proposed. So this existing dormer that's 13 feet, and this would extend by 18.5 feet to the back end of the house. This would allow us, Samantha and Joe, to switch apartments with us, and they'd have additional bedrooms and storage space that they need for their expanding family. Samantha's expecting her first child, as well as the home office that Joe is required for his job. Doris and I have always planned eventually to move downstairs to the 1st floor, as we're both seniors with increasing mobility issues. If this appeal is granted, Doris and I will sell 50% ownership of the house to Samantha and Joe, and maintaining owner occupancy for another generation. In preparation for this appeal hearing, Doris and I posted required informational flyers to 94 abutting neighbors. We had no opposition and got letters of support, which we presented to Brighton Alston Improvement Association meeting on July 17th, and received their support. So we asked for your consideration of this, and we've submitted 5 letters of support. I'm very willing to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Ziggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office oversaw distribution of an informational flyer to all abutters within 300 feet, which solicited 1 letter expressing concern about potential construction noise to our office and no other comments. The Brighton Alston Improvement Association voted to support this application. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have Moira.
Good afternoon, members of the board. This is Margaret Cray from Councilor Breeden's office. The council would like to go on record in support of this project. This project would help this family adapt their home to their needs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
We'll now move on to the rediscussion scheduled for 11:30 a.m. And with that, we'll go straight to case VOA 1697496 with the address is 12R Union Avenue. I believe this is Attorney Lynn. Whoop.
Do we have anyone for 12R Union Ave?
I don't see anyone.
Shane O'Brien, is he in there?
Hello.
Okay, here you go. Are you presenting for this?
Yes, my name is Shane O'Brien. I'm the owner of 12 Union Ave. So yeah, basically, I live in a two-family house that's in the front of the lot, that little square in the front. My partner and I live on the second floor. The first slide's probably the most helpful for the beginning of this. This is a plot plan. And I'm proposing to build what I'm calling a pool house, which is essentially an ADU in the rear of my lot. It's about 20 by 20 footprint in the rear of my lot, which I think is pretty modest. It's 2 floors. The first floor is mostly storage. In the upper left there's a storage area. There's an open area. The second floor is a studio apartment, most likely for rent, but it will be connected to my house. I'm not switching to a 3-family or converting to a 3-unit property. This would remain part of my unit as extra space or rental unit. Variances, so basically I think I have 6 variances, 3 of which I expected. Side yard. Is it possible to go back to the first slide, or is that? Keep going up, yeah. The very first one. This is the Google image kind of shows everything. I think it's kind of helpful. So side yard is that orange box is proposed ADU. It's not 100% to scale, but that's where it's going, the approximate size. South of that is a parking lot. So I am 5 feet away from that fence that separates my lot and my neighbor's lot, which is an 8-car parking lot. So that's one variance. The other variance is rear yard. So I am only 4 feet from the rear yard, but the building behind me is right on the property line. It's essentially a 20-foot cinder block warehouse building. That white roof is that building. The lot, which is not developed yet, but is in the process of getting developed, is a 5-story lot building 20 feet from the rear lot line. My other variance was height. So my building is 20 feet 1 inch high. ADU is 15 feet, so I'm 5 feet 1 inch over the height. The other variances which I learned about last time are insufficient parking. I'm not offering additional parking. More than what I already have is a 3-car tandem parking driveway, which I do share with renters. I'm not offering any more. I just don't have the ability to offer any more parking. There is on-street parking right in front of my house, up and down Union Ave. The other variance was 2 structures on a lot. My lot's pretty big. I thought I was trying to be as modest and responsible as possible about the location, the size of it. It's a 5,000 square foot lot, 5,600 actually. So there's no way to mitigate that, obviously. And then the lot area insufficient. My FAR with this new structure is 0.43, which again seems responsible and low, given the size of my yard, which is, looking at this, one of the biggest yards in the area. So yeah, I guess I'm just trying to do something modest to sort of add a little extra space for me. I know the definition of an ADU sort of was that question last time, and I'm not sure how to answer that, but yeah, so that's my.
Thank you.
Oh,
Go ahead, Ms. Better-Brazza.
I think I just want to say thank you for the applicant for submitting additional material. I know we've heard this case in the past, and I was the one that was asking a lot of questions, but I think the way that you presented your material is very clear. In the last presentation, I just kind of raised the issue whether this was a 3-family, whether it was really 2 plus ADU, but that that there was a zoning violation that I believe that was missing and not cited, which was that, to build an additional unit, at the rear of a house, which is forbidden per zoning. So I think now that you have all the variances in place, I do agree with you. It's a reasonable request. So thank you.
Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Jamaica Plain Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on April 17th, with 2 abutters in attendance. 1 voiced concerns over the lot size and setbacks and suggested they adjust plans to the requirements, while the other abutters voiced support for the proposal, stating how it will not affect an adjacent property. Next, the proposal was presented to Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council Zoning Committee, who voted to approve the proposal. To date, our office has received 1 letter of support, which speaks on the minimal impact the proposal would have on the neighborhood and was sent to the Zoning Board of Appeals for review. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for the judgment.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.